All new tonight at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the destruction of the historic Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah, the mysterious monolith stood on a field in Elberton for decades. So Tracy Amick-Pierre is going to show us where that investigation stands right now.
Tonight, the spot where the Georgia Guidestone stood is just a patch of gravel and weeds. And the GBI tells me they still have no leads on who blew them up.
They're gone. That's all I can tell you. They're gone.
Wayne Mullinex showed me today the spot where the Georgia Guidestones once stood for 42 years.
I put them up. I dug the foundation for them and helped erect them.
The stones themselves were a mystery, paid for by an unknown person who called themselves R.C. Christian back in 1979. Each stone was etched with so-called guiding principles in languages from across the world. Mullinex says they were controversial from the start. July 6th of last year, when someone blew up the Guidestones.
Well, I was asleep and I heard it and it rocked my house.
County Administrator Alan Holm says there were conspiracy theories right away.
I've heard lightning. I've heard that it just blew up on its own, and obviously we've heard that it was a bomb that blew the Guidestones up.
GBI released this video of a car leaving the scene and a person leaving a device, but investigators have never named a suspect. The rest of the stones were removed for safety soon after the explosion, but tourists still come.
You will see people out here with a little shovel and a little paper bag, and they're picking up some of the grit right here.
And while Mullinex says he's sad the stones were destroyed, he says he has no plans to ever bring them back.
Do you hope that they're ever rebuilt?
No, they won't be rebuilt.
What was left of the stones was donated to the Elberton Granite Museum, and the GBI says this is still an open and active investigation. So if you have any information, you're asked to call them. In Elberton, Tracy Amick-Pierre, 11 Alive News.
It's actually pretty easy to prove this wasn't an act from a civilian vandal. All it takes is some simple math and your pattern recognition skills. The part of the monument that was bombed was the slab with the New World Order 10 Commandments. It happens to be the one with graffiti writing that 9/11 is an inside job. Uncoincidentally, it was bombed on George Bush Jr.'s 76th birthday, on 7/6. The Freemasons used gematria numerology to code their signature into the dates and names relating to their work. If you don't believe it, then watch the links in the video's description for concrete proof of this. R.C. Christian, along with these two repeated words, add up to 7/6 on a gematria calculator. The Guidestones were first erected on March 22, 1980. This is a numerological signature paying honor to the Skull and Bones fraternity 322. Skull and Bones is also a 76 in gematria, and its reverse ordinal is 202. And then we counted the Guidestones collapsed 202 days from the Pope's birthday. And we used the Pope because the word Catholic Church equals 246, and 2022 was 246 years from America's birth. From 1980, the Guidestones stood for 42 years, and again, these connecting words add up to 42. If you haven't figured it out yet, we are drawing lines to the proof of man-made, pre-calculated, premeditated planning versus the luck of natural timing and coincidence. Another alias for Skull and Bones is the Brotherhood of Death. Its English ordinal is 187, which is the police code for murder. But by the luck of coincidence, 187 also happens to be the day of the year that July 6th lands on. And yep, you guessed it. A total of 6 references with secret society connections add up to 187 in their gematria calculations. This is a total of 23 coincidences altogether. Interesting. 23 is a number the Warner brothers were obsessed with. I don't know about you, but you're going to have a hard time convincing a lot of people that these important numbers to them just happened to land like this, by chance, from a random vandal out in Georgia, who likely didn't have this knowledge of any gematria codes that Masons plant in all their work. Let that sit on your brain for a while. But don't take too much time. We have 170 days left to prepare for Yellowstone. All right. Well, hope you have yourself a merry little Christmas, folks. It was a crazy ride.